Asa, dudes. It is your boy Bulletproof Catsby back at it once again, and I just got done having a wonderful spoiler-filled talk with my buddy JamesNukem on the top right, the bottom left PartyMarty, and the bottom right StuckNFutzy. They all stream on Twitch. Be sure to show them some love. We just had a phenomenal talk. We talked about pretty much everything in Resident Evil 8, what we liked, what we didn't like, our biggest letdowns, stuff like that. And we talk about all of the juicy spoilers. And man, what a phenomenal time. What a phenomenal talk. I hope you guys enjoy, and be warned. As soon as this video starts, spoilers. This is your warning. I hope you enjoy. But guys, let's officially kick this shit off. Let's get this fat cheers going. Let's talk about some Resident Evil 8. Much love, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. I have nothing on me, so
takes a drink from the Funko Pop.
Yes. So
they got hollow heads, man.
We can figure something out.
Yep.
So, man, Resident Evil 8, I fucking loved it, I gotta say. My command guy brings up a good point. Like, at the very beginning of the game, when Chris tells, he's like, Ethan, no. Like a dog or something. And,
yeah.
Of course, the entire story would happen differently if he just told Ethan. And that's what you're kind of wondering. Like, why isn't he just telling Ethan what the fuck is going on? Like, especially after everything he went through in 7. And he did have all kinds of training. Like, yeah, he's not a devil. Hold on, what was the name of the squad again?
Hound Wolf Squad.
Yeah, he's not a fucking Hound Wolf Squad member, but like he isn't, like he ain't a chump either. You know what I mean? Like he's, I don't know. But towards the end, he also says that he thought Miranda had already infected Mia and Ethan. So, like that's not really the greatest explanation. Like if they knew that Mia was already like gone and that was Amanda, telling Ethan after he already quote unquote killed Amanda, like what would be the difference? Like if he was infected, if he was in cahoots with Amanda even after the fact, like it just had to happen that way so the story could unfold. Yeah. Not Amanda, Miranda. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like,
I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
Miranda. My bad. Yeah, King of Bad Decisions.
Yeah, I missed a lot.
Yeah, I missed a lot. What the fuck?
He was walking at the end of the game in the final scene where Rose is a teenager.
Yeah.
Old Amanda.
Actually, photo mode has been utilized to bring that up to zoom in on the character model, and it's supposedly fucking Ethan's character model. So what are the implications of that? Is that just them reusing assets for a game like this where there's so much? They definitely dabble in psychological horror as well. You know what I mean? So for something to be, I don't know, a little bit more methodical than most, I'd want to say that that being his character model has to mean something a little bit more. There's a lot of character models in the game they could have used for just that shot. One of the people when there was the 10 people in the room that were all dead. You know what I mean? One of the people that were laying down in the basement, you know what I mean, that was dead. It could have been any one of those character models. But
if it was just going to be like a placement kind of thing, like they weren't even...
Yeah, exactly. If it was just something throwaway, just to have someone out there, just a stand-in, basically. So, with the Megamycete, with the whole resurrection thing, which, by the way, they're still hinting at putting one person's consciousness into another body. They're bringing Wesker back. It has never been more clear to me now. I mean, I know I said that last time, and I'm gonna fucking say it again. They're bringing Wesker back, man.
Okay, with that, are you talking about with his oh my gosh, Rose?
Yeah, with Rose.
Are you talking about her being somebody else, or do you think she's actually Rose? Or
I think it's actually Rose. I think it's actually Rose, but that was the whole plan, for it to not be Rose, for her to grow up as Evelyn. Evie, or whatever the real daughter's name was.
Eva, yeah. See, like that, I thought that was kind of weird because what is that the chick's name? Evelyn from, like, is that the girl's name from 7?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, because I think that's who ended up like going into her body in the end, because that's what the bodyguard said. He's like, oh well, Evelyn, and that's what like sets her off, you know, not like, oh, Eva, which was what was supposed to happen, or what like was thought to happen, or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it is the same girl, isn't it? Eva, Evelyn, whatever. Isn't it all the same?
Is
I
it?
think it is. I think it is.
Hey,
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, and whenever the whole process was happening, Mother Miranda was like freaked out. Like she was like, "Oh, my powers are leaving!" Like whenever, you know, like the ritual was going on or whatever. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like it went as planned.
Right,
Or at
right.
least,
Because
like,
Ethan kicks
for
down
her,
the door
yeah.
and he's like, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think Evelyn was like, "All right, I'm more powerful than Eva in this realm, and I'm just gonna go ahead and like take over Rose"? But Evelyn kind of likes Ethan, and that's why she's like viewing him as his father, because you know they have history from bullshit. Yeah. Well, from 7. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so the
don't
girl
know.
we fought in 7 was her daughter. That's what Mackie Man Guy said.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Never mind then.
Well, still,
I'm just dumb.
even in that case, did it still work? Like,
hmm
the whole thing could have worked, like, because it was mentioned several times she was a powerful baby. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what, with or without the swap, she was still gonna have those inherent powers. But she could just also, like, however strong she was, she could handle basically an entirely different brain being put in, essentially. Evil Thin style. I like that. Let's go.
So do you think Alex Wesker is gonna come back? Like, well, kind of like she kind of did in Revelations 2. You know?
We technically don't know the canon ending.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said kind of.
Like, so...
Yeah.
I mean, even then, if it isn't like a dominant personality type of thing, it could still be like a voice in their head, at minimum. You know what I mean? Which I think is probably something.
Yeah. It's like a giant hive mind, pretty much.
So,
And I'm thinking, like, if that was Ethan at the end, like, was Rose like seeing him and was like, "Hey, stop!" And then that's why the like dude stopped the whatever it was SUV that they were in.
yeah. So, was it? Did she really see him? Is it like a Birdman thing? If you guys ever seen that movie, like where is she actually seeing Birdman fly around, or is she just as fucking crazy as he was? That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a really good movie. But it's also I don't know, man. I don't know what to think, because also, just as like a side note, when the BSA sent in the operatives and they found one of the operatives, the BSAA is using BOWs.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. And if you look at the character model, again, that is Chris's character model. The BSA emblem, or the BSAA fucking soldier that they found, that was Chris's model. Grayed out.
Really?
You take that character model and take away all the distortion, and it's Chris's
Oh my
model.
gosh.
Which again,
So do you think they're cloning him? And like, because dude punches boulders, you know?
I would say, yeah, this dude can punch a fucking boulder in half, man.
Yeah.
You know, so like, if anyone, if
Yeah.
you're gonna get anyone, it should be him, like 1000%.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, is that just them just being like, whatever? Like, that kind of seems a little bit more methodical. Like, for like, what if it was Chris's like thing or something in the end scene, or just Ethan's character model as the BS? Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? But it just seems a little bit more methodical, because BSAA has strong ties with Chris, and Ethan has, of course, strong ties with Rose. So I think there's was more to
An
it.
Easter egg, though.
I don't think it was just an
Easter egg.
I don't think it's an Easter. It could be. It could be just an Easter egg, like just them just giving you just a little something extra. It totally could be. Totally could be. But how methodical this game had to be in general, I don't see them just kind of phoning it in right there on.
It's like we gave you everything, and you know what? Just spend $1 on the icing.
Right, because I mean, think of it. That's the ending. All of that is in the ending.
Yeah.
And like, if you can't crush the ending, if you can't crush the beginning and crush the ending, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You're fucking off.
Yeah, you're fucking off.
Is it doing something wrong?
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that ending title?
What, the father's story?
Has ended.
Yeah, the father's story has ended. I mean,
is that like just letting you know, like, hey,
will you?
Well, this is supposed to be a trilogy, like this kind of like story, like I don't know, I guess like the Winters family, like 9 is gonna tie in with this story as well.
Yeah,
Well, thanks.
like,
Yeah.
you got Chris, you got Mia still, and Rose is all grown
Yeah,
up. And there's
dude.
gonna be a whole backstory with her and the whole Evelyn thing.
Dude.
And
There's a whole cast of characters that they could pick from too that they still haven't like put in as well.
Yeah,
like,
I kinda
it's just
wonder
been
if,
Chris.
like,
That's it.
I kind of wonder if they'll bring in one of the other characters to continue
Exactly.
that sort of storyline.
Yeah.
With the BSAA still being relevant, they could. That's a natural way for them to bring back Sheva. A very natural way for Sheva to come back. Like she's like a general now or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could pull that off easy.
Pure
Like maybe it's
evil.
Sheva that Chris goes to talk to when he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? What is this? Why are you guys using BOWs?" You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
That would make sense if it was Sheva being
And she
in
would just be
charge.
like, "Oh, well, you left." Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You went to go to Yellow
So I
things.
started cloning you.
It's like, I wouldn't have to do that if you didn't leave.
Yeah. Make you feel all guilty about it.
She turns away all dramatic. You left me in Africa. And then does
Oh
that,
my God.
and everything fucking blows up. Chris is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
And
cool.
it was
though.
like, that's
Hate
the
the
name of the
flashback.
game.
Yeah, I'd love for her to bring back Sheva. I thought she was a good character. I thought the bond that her and Chris had as partners was really good because I was like legit freaking out when she like at the very end of 5 when she let go. You know what I mean? That was great. Great scene. But anyway, so back to Ethan, being dead the whole time. How about that?
Fucking 6 cents.
Dead the whole fucking time. How about that?
It was dumb as fuck. No, I'm just kidding. But, dude, oh my gosh. Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
know how
know.
to take that at all.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was just like, really? Like,
It's like,
but it makes sense, like, why he's gotten so fucked up ever since, like, Jack first kicked his ass or, like, killed him, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but to
Okay.
think that the beginning of Resident Evil 7 was for Ethan dies. And
yeah.
They could have just stopped it right there. You know what I mean? It's like,
Call it
Uh,
freaking one of the mainline characters, but no.
I
no,
was fucked up.
he
from
said no.
I was fucked up
Yeah.
from it, and then when Ethan decided to go, that's it, I'm gonna die a hero, even though I'm already dead, kinda, and then fucking just
Yeah.
huge explosion and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
In
this
typical
past
Resi
year-
fashion.
Yeah.
Typical Resi fashion.
hmm
So
Because remember that
ain't too
part?
far behind him, but
Right,
that's
so-
neither here nor there.
my thing is, did he have to walk closer to the bomb? Like, because Chris had it in his hand and like was just gonna blow it when he got back to the chopper. So I don't see why Ethan couldn't just go back to the chopper with him. I didn't get that sacrifice. That really didn't.
I think
make a
that's
lot
a
of sense
reach
to me.
because I think that's reaching a little bit because the whole idea was to make that like a huge dramatic impact towards the finale of the game. It's like, cool, we got another happy ending like you did in Resident Evil 7, but it's like it was kind of artsy in a way because as soon as he got Rose back and she was in his arms, did you notice how he started flaking away? Like,
Yeah, I
his
saw that he
job-
was flaking
his
away.
job was done. Literally, Rose was his exterior heart that kept him
Poetic
alive.
as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super in depth. So of
Mhm.
course, like as a final gesture, seeing how he got his heart back, he was able to move forward with, okay, this is my actual final moment. My daughter is safe. I can now rest. Boom. That's that. It's just dramatic, and yeah, as James said, poetic. Just something
Yep.
Capcom added.
Yeah.
But yeah, where he could have walked with Chris, possibly gotten to the helicopter, maybe had another baby with Mia, maybe not. I get it, but this
Yeah.
is Capcom. Like, the fact that Ethan was a zombie pretty much the whole fucking time, who was
Yeah.
conscious, and you played as, and it's like the
Yeah.
whole explanation of the mold and what he is, especially when he's in that dream state. Because I was sitting there, and he's like, oh, "Come on, Miranda, what's up? What's up?" And I'm like, "Man, you probably shouldn't do that, man." He just comes out, and just rips his fucking heart out like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber. Just,
Oh my God.
and then just starts
Yeah. It was very MK.
fucking
Yeah.
female Kano over here.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the scene scene from 7 where Ethan's kind of in that dream state or whatever with Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
and
that
Jack's
makes so
like
much more
apolog-
sense now. Dude.
Yeah, he's like apologizing to Jack, or Jack's like apologizing to him. He's like, "Hey, my bad."
I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry for
Yeah,
fucking you up.
About that scene now, it does make so much more sense. And I was also gonna say, the beginning part where if you get caught by Jack, he cuts your leg off, and he gives you that super juice. Like, get your leg back up.
Yeah.
It just makes you think it was just a gameplay thing. And then
it makes so much more sense now.
And that dream state happened when Ethan gets consumed by the mold and you play as Mia and then you find Ethan. So it's like when he was consumed by the mold that supposedly he is, he gets to recollect in the memories that are enveloped into the mold of who everybody else that it also took in, such as Jack and then Marguerite and then
yes.
Who else was there?
Zoe.
Was Zoe in it too? I can't remember.
It was just Jack and Zoe in the scene.
Yeah.
He's up all like Marguerite and Lucas as well. They don't pop up, but it's just him and Zoe. And then obviously.
So speaking of 7, but speaking of 7, it was said that not Jack, what was it, Lucas? What was the kid's name? Was it Jack?
Brother?
Was it Lucas?
What? Yeah, it's Lucas.
In 7,
Right.
He was working with someone. Mia was working with that's where Evelyn came from. She didn't come from Umbrella. She came from the Connections, and we didn't hear anything at all about the Connections in this game. Nothing. True. So that's definitely going to be saved for number 9. If this is supposed to be a trilogy, we're definitely going to be hearing about the Connections next game. But yeah, is it just going to be some unnamed guy that's behind the Connections? Do we know any of these characters, or is it the people that have survived? Maybe Wesker's been alive this whole time. Maybe.
So
be Wesker.
You guys have the Baker incident report on your extras tab.
Yeah.
I read through that. They make small mentions of the Connections. That I think they're just basically an organization that broke off from Umbrella sometime after they fell apart. The CEO is actually someone who worked closely with Spencer, and right now they just I read the file. It just said that they're just working for profit. No one in sight at the time.
They were mentioned in 8. That's who Miranda was working with to make Evelyn, which was supposed to be the recreation of Ava, or it was supposed to be I don't know what a recreation, but also what's the word I'm fucking looking for? Something for Eva to go into. I can't think of the fucking word.
Well,
yeah, there you go. There you go. Words, they escape me.
No, yeah. I
was gonna say the other note where I assume it's Miranda that writes it. It starts off with Ava, and she goes all into how she died and all that. The last page of the organization approaching her. I just assume that the organization she's referring to is the Connections. So I mean, they don't mention as much.
Yeah,
a little bit here and there.
Literally
That's
just
really.
But
yeah,
also,
at the end
in
of the
letter,
exposition.
Who was it that signed it? Who was studying Miranda?
Oh no, that was from fucking Spencer, Oswald Spencer.
Spencer. That was
yeah. But he was just a student of hers, pretty much. So it's Miranda kicked off the whole fucking series. You know what I mean? She's the reason that Oswald Spencer went off to be look out for something that'll change the human genome or whatever the fuck and then that's why he started Umbrella, and then he found the Stairway to Heaven or some shit like that.
Yeah, the Stairway to Heaven.
Is it?
Yeah, Stairway to Heaven.
Oh,
started the progenitor virus.
And then,
they talked about it in
and then
Resident
found
Evil
the
5.
progenitor virus, and then that's how he's made the T virus, and then shit got real,
Yeah, and then shit
Yeah.
got real. So, one thing, if you think the last time we saw Spencer is when Wesker killed him, right? And then, if you remember, one thing that always stood out to me is, Spencer said, like, I was to be a god. You know what I mean? He wasn't just looking to make creatures. He was looking, essentially what it kind of seems like most, like, really old businessmen that have billions of dollars, like, they just want immortality.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah. Like, speed up evolution, pretty much. Like,
Yeah, but it was kind of like a whole Genesis style anyway, except for it was the creatures that he created from the virus he had created to where he would rule as, like, God. So therefore, that would be the reference to that. Of course, like, as you've seen with Wesker, with how well, like, he handled, like, said virus and how he developed these superhuman abilities, it's possible that the idea of immortality in the game was there. But it seems like, back to the whole poetic shit, that I was to be a god. It's like I created these things, and they were going to cleanse the world of what was once here, and we would begin the new world order where I would lead it. So that, I mean, it was the whole mastermind, evil genius plot to take over new world order type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sense that is made to me about it. But yeah.
Tone, I saw, dude.
Oh, what's up, chat?
Yeah, what's up, chat? Sorry, we're like, sorry, super zoomed
Actually,
in.
I need to grab another beer. I'll be right back.
But yeah,
Is
the
that
idea,
okay?
of, the idea of consciousness is still there, though, for real. Like how you were saying earlier.
I agree with that. I think
because I mean, you have Evelyn / Rose / Ev. Like, we don't know. We know that. I mean, I think there's more to be told about that. I feel like that was a big cliffhanger, especially when that guy at the end in front of the SUV. What was his affiliation? Was he BSA or was he Umbrella? Or what was he?
I think part of Chris's group. Whoever Chris is with, I have no idea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that was kind of unclear.
Yeah.
Because remember when she slammed
yeah.
him up against when she slammed him against the SUV, he heard over there like, "Do you want me to take the shot?" It's like they're like, so she's important.
Yep.
And I feel like there was a little word going, "Hey, you fuck off one time, you done." like Giesel.
Yeah, like get it real quick.
Yeah, but she did mention Chris whenever she did that. So she's whoever Chris is with. So she's like, oh, well, I can do things that Chris doesn't even know, you know, like.
Yeah. So the big question is, how long after the explosion is that? Because Evelyn,
that's it,
aged at like a very accelerated pace, so that could only be like 3-4 years later after the end. You know what I mean?
Well,
that's exactly what I thought, dude.
You could find out maybe you could like get some type of data on that. So if you go back and maybe look at Ethan's tombstone and see when he died, and then see if there's any type of reference after the fact or during the fact that. Where was I going with that?
I don't think there is. I don't think there's a date in that cutscene.
No,
outside
there's no
of
date.
You know the tombstone maybe.
Yeah, maybe that is true. Like maybe I was like maybe there's something that some decoders could figure out.
Yeah.
Well, because she totally is wearing that jacket. She's totally wearing that jacket. The Ethan's jacket.
By the way, it looks relatively new. If I do say so.
It doesn't look like it's almost 20 years old or however old. It doesn't look 10, 15 years old.
Rip the fuck apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to know who her dry cleaner is, by the way.
Yeah.
Who's your tailor?
Great.
I need to know.
Between werewolves and Lady Dimitrescu and fucking that ghoul thing, I still can't remember his name.
Moreau.
Yeah. The giant fish thing.
Yeah.
The giant fish thing.
And then it hurts me to say, but the fucking that thing, the fucking
doll,
the puppet,
Beneviento. It takes me
dude,
a couple times.
the baby scene.
Oh my god! Dude. So I was like, I hear something weird. I start running down the hallway and I see. I'm like, no.
Dude, that's the biggest scare I've had in a long ass time, like in a horror game.
Yeah, I know.
Like, holy shit. I was like, whoa. Like I got out of there and I was like, I'm not even gonna go back when I get my guns back. Like I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, like, I'm out this bitch.
Yeah. I'm done looking at that thing. This thing's fucking disturbing.
Oh, every bit of it was the whole like Mia was a dummy and you're like literally just scavenging through, even though it was, I was like, you know what's creepier than going through doing an autopsy on an actual body, pretending to do an autopsy on a not actual body. That to me is just way fucking creepier. No, literally, dude, if I got close to the camera during that whole scene with the dolls and shit, it looked like do you remember the movie Bedazzled? With
Brendan Fraser? Yeah.
Remember when
Elizabeth Hurley?
Yeah, I remember when he's the basketball player.
I'll give it 110%.
I'm giving 110%, and I just spit flying. Me the whole time. I fucking hate porcelain dolls. I can't stress it enough. I love how Gatsby didn't even bother to tell. I'm glad he did.
Why would I fucking tell you that?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Why would I spoil that for you?
I want to see this guy have a fucking stroke on stream.
Yeah, I was pretty excited because as soon as I seen it, I remember that you don't fucking like Chucky and shit like that. Like, I remember, I knew. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna like this.
Porcelain dolls. I don't know what. Ever since I was a fucking kid, they just shake me to my heights. I'm good. Snakes, I'll grab them. Spiders, I don't care. Fucking porcelain dolls. I don't care. I don't care what you tell your grandma. They're ugly. They stank. I don't like them. They're nasty. They're ugly. They're not worth that much. I don't care what you tell the cops. They're not.
All they do is collect dust.
They peer into your soul, and if you look back, you can actually see the depths of hell. But
Jesus.
I called Gatsby right after that scene. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Or no, not after. During. I was like, dude, I don't know how much further I can go. He's like, are you a bitch right now? I need you to finish this game so we can do this chatting shit.
So we can have this fucking discussion, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
we all beat it like that weekend. We did, though.
Yeah.
We all beat it.
I was like, damn, it took me forever to beat that, like, compared to everyone else. And then I heard you were still playing. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like,
yeah, you're like, wow, really?
a lot of it was because of that bullshit that Capcom. I'm telling you, I swear
Really?
to God, Capcom or somebody who's affiliated had to have seen my stream and thrown that shit in there. Because literally, you wouldn't have known that if I would say, hey, guess what my fear is? People are like, oh, heights, the dark, fucking clowns, donkeys when they take on a balloon, what the fuck ever. You would have never have guessed porcelain dolls. But them motherfuckers did.
Yep.
They did. And by God, I even said it, and I'm like, damn, Capcom's bringing the heat. It was like 60 degrees in here. I'm unbuttoning my shirt going, feels like 90 all of a sudden. Anybody got any water?
Sweating.
I will say, I think it was a good little change of pace for the gameplay, though. Having to use your wits and literally just a pair of scissors once you get back to the top of the house. So instead of having to using all your weapons and all your stuff, I'm just like, the first time I played through it, I didn't find her one time, and I was in danger. I stumbled upon her the first time, and then I ended up finding her like the other two times I had to find her. I was like, oh my god, like those dogs, it scared me shitless, bro. Like.
So is everybody's like most terrifying scene in that game? Was it I'm not even gonna call it a baby, the crawling fetus? Like, does everybody think that was the scariest part of the whole game?
Oh yeah,
If
definitely.
Not, what was your biggest scare moment?
Dude, that
that was really good.
Man.
That was pretty scary. But honestly, playing once you PartyMarty knows, once you start playing on Village of Shadows, and once you really see how quick those lichens can be, I think the lichens just by themselves are really fucking scary. Like, no cap.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, cause on standard, like they'll be a little bit more cautious. They won't charge you as fast. Or like, I don't know. PartyMarty will tell you. Yeah, they charge when they charge you. They charge pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
I would just say this: the very first enemy, I Okay, I had to reload another game so I can get all my guns. It took me 4 shotgun shells
Oh my
to kill the
God.
first enemy.
Oh my.
Like,
That's
like
crazy.
I shot him once. He was just like,
Just brush it off.
just slightly flinched. That's it. I'm like,
Damn.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
And one hit takes you down in danger. Like you can be fully healed and you'll be down in danger in one hit.
Yeah. I was stupid and I tried that mode first.
I think
And if you
was
block, it takes like
You're like, no.
Yeah, no, it did not go well
if
whatsoever.
you block, it takes like 4 hits and you'll be in danger as well.
Oh,
You get
no.
4, and 6 will kill you.
So,
Okay.
one of the bonuses that you got in 7 after beating it, I can't remember what its conditions were, but you could eventually unlock the super block to where you did not take damage. And they actually have it in Mercenaries for Resident Evil 8, but
shit.
not in the story, where if you had it, and you did not take damage when you blocked. Did not take damage.
I think that's just a mercenaries thing, I think, isn't it?
In 8 it is, but in 7 you could actually get it in the story. So they brought it back for Mercenaries in
okay.
8, but in 7
Yeah.
it was the essence of defense and the secrets of defense, and you had to have both of those files in your inventory at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of which, this is the first game out of 3 games, the last 3 Resident Evil games, that doesn't have an item box.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hey, guess what else game didn't?
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, here we go.
Can we
Here
all
I know
can we
where
all
this is
just no. Out of everything they said in the Resident Evil, we already talked about this. Like remaking
Yeah,
Resident
we
Evil
did.
4,
That was just
that
giving
could still
hard
be a
time.
thing, but with what they said they had to do with the VR version, that's pretty much remaking the game right there. That could have been what they're talking about. Which,
Very
as a
true.
side
But
note,
don't believe it.
I kind of want to play it on VR. Not gonna lie, I played it on every fucking console
Yeah.
I've ever owned, pretty much. But I'd still play it again in VR. Fuck it.
Like Wii was pretty fun for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did-
So
I
feel
had
like
fun with
it's
that.
gonna be that on crack, you know? Yeah.
Dude, Anonymous got You guys hear that?
No.
It's loud as fuck. All
Yeah,
right,
loud as
so-
fuck, dude.
Yeah. All right. What were we talking about? Sorry, that fucked me up.
Was it really loud?
Yeah, but beyond that.
Even Anonymous is like, there, accepted. Resident Evil 4 remake.
Oh, okay. So it was StuckNFutzy. All right.
Nah, I wouldn't
you.
go that far, but
No, if it was StuckNFutzy, he'd want me to see the name. So I'd look at it, see his name, and look back at him. He'd just be staring into my soul. But
God.
but we all can agree that Code Veronica should be the next one. It should be. Will it?
if you,
I don't fucking know. But it should be.
The next remake?
The next
Is that what
remake.
you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, because from here,
Does it need
from
one
here,
though? It's already been remade. No, I'm just kidding. With Veronica X, but
yeah. So, what is coming next? Is 9 coming next, or is the Code Veronica and or the remake of
I think
4?
they're alternating. Are they not alternating?
So you're saying
So-
you're saying a remake is next? Is the
7,
next Resident Evil game we
2,
get?
2, 3 announcement of
8.
no 2.
So think in the last 4 years we got 4 Resident Evil
3-ish
games.
announcement of 8. Well, it was easy for 2 and 3 to be done for the most part because they already had the RE engine, right?
Mhm.
They had the
also
RE engine and
had-
they reused a lot of assets.
So
They
it
didn't
was
have to
pretty
make any
much
new
like,
enemies
hey,
besides
clean
Nemesis.
it up, make it look updated. It's just like you buy an old house. It's like, all right, let's get some new walls, new flooring. I don't know. I like the cabinet over there. Boom. But it's the same house.
But who?
Type shit. You know what I mean? But you poured a little bit of money to it, and now you got yourself a new presentable product. So, which makes sense on how it went from 7, which was completely fresh. Like, first introduction to Ethan, the whole story in Louisiana, introduction with the mold, shit like that. Then we're jumping back into like remake styles with the new gen consoles with 2 and 3, just to buy enough time. It's like, hey, here's the snack before dinner comes. And then Resident Evil 8's released, and by far was, like you said earlier, dude, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It left me lost for words at the end, for sure. Like, I kind of am mad that I don't have the PlayStation 5 yet to play it, but it's still good, and it still was fun, and it was still fucking scary.
Yeah.
Capcom delivered.
Yeah, it was really good. Do you guys think it was too much action? A lot of people are saying that it's more like where 7 was like 2, 8 is like 3. The remakes, that is. I really liked 3. A lot of people gave 3.
I really liked 3, but
I wouldn't say
was there too much action? No. What?
Was it like the action to scares?
Guns, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you had a whole new arsenal, but it wasn't like in Resident Evil 3 when you're going up against Nemesis, like the gigantic large form. I think the final boss fight, and she pulls out that rail gun. And it's just holding it like Master Chief in Halo 3 when he grabs the mini.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's action. But when she's rocking the Jax from Mortal Kombat little grenade launcher, or he is rather, and you just hear poop, like that's just the reality of the situation. It's like, are those guns readily available? Sure.
Yeah.
Are they over the top futuristic? No, because it doesn't have to be. But the
except
thing
for the lightsaber.
You're not gonna. Well, that's just a little. Hey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got, from how Gatsby explained, you got to jump through hoops and bounds to even get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, not really, because you could also say the same thing about 7 if that's the case, outside of upgrades. Because once you got to Mia, you unlock the SMG, and then just because it goes rat-a-tat-tat versus tat-tat-tat, shit, need to find ammo. You were still doing that. You were still looking for ammo. Like, towards the end,
and not a hero.
I had to sell stuff.
Yeah.
I had to sell a bunch of stuff just to beat Miranda, because I go through. I was like, nope, I need to sell this because I need to get more ammo. I need more health, and I'm just going to use this one gun or 2 guns. That's silly. That's silly to think it was too much action.
I mean, I killed Miranda just scraping by, so.
I did too. I think I had bullets left.
The handgun, the shotgun, and I think the magnum. That's it.
I didn't
only
have
took
any
3
left.
Yeah. Plus, I think I had like 1 mine and a couple of pipe bombs too.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, more action compared to survival horror, because I have to say there was not at one point I needed bullets. Not once in the entire game, out of any of the playthroughs that I had, did I need bullets for anything. I needed health. I need, like, they have an entirely...
Yeah, I needed health a lot.
Yeah, they have a whole new crafting system, but beyond crafting health, I didn't use it at all. I didn't need to.
Yeah, same.
So,
just make the handgun ammo, because I went through that a lot more than all the other guns.
Actually, handgun ammo. Yeah. Sorry, I lied.
Because all it takes is the gunpowder and what else? The rusted scrap.
Yeah.
Most of the other ammo is like food or something else along with it. So using crafting handgun ammo was just easier because they only took 2 things of material.
Yeah, where the Magnum takes like the 3 most rare like scraps you can find.
It's like 4 rusted scraps, a metal scrap, and chem fluid. I think it is.
Yeah.
It uses
it's
chem fluid.
Yeah, imagine.
I think it's chem fluid.
Holy shit. Yeah, I'm not very far in my second playthrough whatsoever.
I haven't started yet, and I'm wanting to. But...
Yeah, I'm still in the castle. The castle.
Hang out, little Lady D.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll say he's in the castle. He's been there for 45 hours.
Dude, I'm literally Lady D's running away from me at this point. Like, it's just like, get out of here. Yeah, get over here.
I got a slick confession. I let Daniela kill me the first time I found her. I was just like, Nicole Tompkins was just like, go ahead, you can have one for free.
Yeah.
This one's for free. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead, just
Uh,
go ahead. It's fine. It's fine.
Shit.
God bless it. How about fucking? Okay, let's get it out of the way. What'd you guys think of Heisenberg?
I
I
didn't
like
really think he was
Heisenberg. Did you not like him?
I was
Dude,
back
I
and
feel
forth.
like they used a lot of environmental storytelling with him too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like he was wearing dog tags from like World War One, like that tells you like how old he is and shit like that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'd say I like him most part.
And that's probably how he knew about like Chris punching boulders, because he was probably like working in reconnaissance, and that's why he had all those pictures up of all that, like,
Yeah.
and that would explain like how he knew about that event and shit. Like,
That shit
I don't
made
know.
me laugh.
Which
I love
Yeah.
the
Great
that
line. That was a
reference
great line.
during the battle.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a fucking great line. I
That was
love it.
beautiful. When he said that, I was like, "Yes, motherfucker!" Okay, that boss battle was very actiony. I mean, you were using a tank, you know. Like,
I
can see why
literally,
people-
yeah, was like,
There were
what the
sections
fuck
that were
is
super
happening?
actiony, but
It was
overall.
a tank with a
Yeah.
chainsaw.
yeah,
Exactly.
Did anybody look? First off, he runs into Chris, right? And Ethan's like, "I demand answers," and then Chris, like his grandpa or some shit, goes, "You're not ready. Give me that wrench." And then as he's cranking, he did like 3 cranks. Boom! A fucking bulldozer tank with a chainsaw machine gun and a rocket launcher.
Dude, that's like
3
Scary Movie
cranks.
2.
he's a crafty motherfucker.
I thought they were gonna have some like grade A promo for some fucking mechanics tools. Like, hey, hand me that Mac tool fucking torque wrench right there that you only can get at Lowe's, 50% off. You know what I mean? I was like, why is the wrench so significant?
Oh my
It's already
God.
built. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Like the Truman Show, you know?
It's
Yeah,
like-
the
it's
Truman
like he
Show.
was just, like, it's like he was literally flexing on Ethan.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, look.
You just don't want to know, okay?
And Ethan's like, got it. Gonna know. And then he just runs straight to his death.
Yeah. Pretty
Dude,
much.
Dude, what about Miranda?
Miranda's
She
pretty
was
cool, but
a
like,
badass.
I wish we got more of her. We didn't really get a whole lot of her, like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
People saying they wanted more of like Demetrescu and the daughters, which yeah, sure, but like Miranda, yeah,
I was fine with
that more fun for
yeah.
her.
Like,
I will say I was surprised they got rid of them so soon.
Yeah,
Man.
Well,
how they ran the
they
promo.
did their part well.
Yeah, how they ran the promo, it made it seem like Lady D was the big bad, and it wasn't
Yeah.
until I think the anniversary thing where we saw her pick up the boudoir or whatever it's called and throws it, or chucks it or whatever. We're like, oh, she's talking to the big bad right now. She's not the big bad, and it goes to show like this is just another one of those games, just like Far Cry 3, where they have a really good villain that's the midway fight. Because in Far Cry 3, that the guy with the mohawk, everybody remembers that guy, and he was a fucking great
The
villain.
definition of insanity.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
halfway through the game, he gets shot by. Well, spoilers for Far Cry 3. It's fucking over 10 years old. He gets
Yeah.
shot in the neck by the
Fuck you, go
actual
play it.
big bad. Yeah, fuck you. Go
Right.
play it yourself.
Yeah.
somebody out there's like, oh, I just was about to put it in my place.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
They're playing it on a PS3. Like.
Damn you, Gatsby, damn you.
Oh, shit.
No,
Oh
dude,
my
they
God,
should. I don't mean in the sense of like revealing Miranda more to us. I meant towards the fact of like stuff started making sense, and I even made note of it when I was playing. Like towards the, where was I going?
Where were you going?
It was where you had to go up one side and lichens just kept coming at you. It was before you fought Big Daddy, and you go up one side of like the staircase of like a ruined castle to let this gear down to let this side of the drawbridge grow, like the chain there, and then you had to go back down, fight off
Yeah.
like all these lichens, go on the other side. Well, the whole time I was like, what the fuck is up with these crows and shit? So like the whole idea of Miranda, it's like her presence when you play it, then beat her, and then understand, oh shit, I get it now.
Yeah.
The whole time her presence never left. because you constantly see crows.
Mm-hmm.
But
until you mentioned that, I never even fucking thought of that she turned into crows.
Her being able to shapeshift into anything, it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I
anyone
never even
think,
crossed
like,
my mind.
you guys remember the hag that showed up every so often?
Yeah.
Do you think that was her?
I'm thinking,
Yeah, that was just
maybe
her,
that's
wasn't
Miranda, kind of like what they did with Evelyn in 7.
Well,
Yeah, with Granny.
maybe
Exactly.
maybe it's like her presence that she would use to like check in on the villagers, because the village group that you come across, like at the very beginning that die like that,
Yeah, just which was like a waste.
Yeah, I wish they were fleshed out a little bit more. But anyways, they even mentioned the hag. They're like, oh, don't listen to her, she's crazy, or some shit like that.
Yeah, one of them does.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe that was Miranda's way of like checking in on the villagers, how faithful they are to me and shit like that,
But it seems like, as tradition, when you see a crow, death was always coming, to where it seemed like when I heard crows, that's when enemies started going around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, hey, this Ethan guy, he's a problem. I need to take care of him. And then just send them.
Yeah.
Release the hounds. And then they're just like charging full fucking speed.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dude. I do
But
like
I
the
think,
like.
fuck them. Fuck the big werewolf thing. That thing was like, literally, when I saw it, what I appreciate so much about the game, what I appreciate so much about the game overall was, okay, when you saw the big wolf creeping around and then kind of hanging around the cottage, it kind of gave you like those old European story feels where they talk about the big bad wolf and stuff like that, like the 3 little pigs and shit.
That enemy kind of freaked me out too.
He
It just
did.
like, it had a very human face for like a dog, and I was like, that's not how you're
he's
supposed
like this
to
close
look.
to your face,
Yeah.
just growling.
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Kind of. Yeah.
A Tic Tac will go nicely with that, sir.
Like, you were fighting it in the daylight, and I was like, that's a little scary looking. Like,
Yeah, and by the way, don't underestimate anything they do in the game, because the first time you get introduced to that giant wolf, I decided to hightail it straight to the right building, go up the ladder, and then he was kind of like just creeping around the village, and I was like, oh, I'm good. I could probably take him out from up here. I just shot at him. That was a big no-no. I think I even uttered the phrase, "Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground." And then the motherfucker jumps.
no, my God.
Whoa, what?
Holy shit, I had no idea.
Not even knowing that the lightsaber was something that happened, so I thought that was kind of...
Yeah.
I literally said, like, "Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground." I don't even think I finished high ground. I have the high... And they just threw me out of the fucking room.
Hey, fuck your high ground.
He's like,
Fuck your high
"You know
ground.
what it is?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You know what it is."
You know Anakin Skywalker? What you mean?
Yeah. Dude. But when I got that Beowulf,
It's the Wolfsbane.
that Beowulf is what I call it, because that motherfucker is Beowing all those wolves. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's after getting that.
Where did you guys find the Wolfsbane's attachments at? I only think I found
You find one and you buy the other, right?
No, I bought one. I bought the fucking revolver
Cylinder?
extension or whatever it was, or the
Okay,
cylinder.
so it's in Heisenberg's factory. There's a door you come across that you can't open. It's well after you turn the power on, pretty much. It's an electronic door. So you go back to it. At some point, you press the button to unlock it. It's actually in there. You actually find like a recording of Heisenberg too. It's actually pretty neat. He's going over how.
I found that room. Yeah. I remember the recording of Heisenberg.
Yeah, you find it. Yeah, the part's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I forget what it does, but it's in there, and then you find that recording, which I thought was actually pretty neat. Goes in detail about how he wants to make this army and kill Miranda and all that.
Just to be free of her.
Just to be free. But,
he
like,
was
no
very
cap.
different from the other two. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He was
The
definitely
other
the
one
Lucas
was
of this
very
game, the
iconic,
rebellious
right.
one. But with the amount of people like in that factory, you just see a conveyor belt full of those fucking. I guarantee one of those drill guys could take on at least a couple Lycans. before they fucking rip
for
them apart.
sure.
Before they just rip all the
Crazy.
flesh off his bones.
So who was in control of the Lycans? Mother Miranda?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know.
mean-
From like whenever Ethan first meets like the four houses and everything, it kind of seems like Heisenberg's like because he's like Lycans in general. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe they were all in control of him if you think about it. Like all.
I mean,
but Mother
like-
Miranda was like, hey, okay, so you got this tier, and then like in Lady Dimitrescu's castle, it was the ghouls. Or, I don't even know. Were those ghouls? What were those things?
Those were all the
Ghouls,
maids that they had and shit.
Yeah,
Were
there's
turned
female
into-
versions of
yeah,
Lycans, more or less.
Yeah.
And then yeah, dude. Oh, who got some straight Resident Evil 4? The Regenerator.
Mm-hmm.
When the fucking things came off the wall with the two drills, or not the two drills, the one drill. That's what I thought. I thought they would keep coming back. But
Oh, you're talking about in Eisenberg's factory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a hard vibe from them, but I think the thing that freaked me out the most was kind of like this executioner style one where it had two drills and was armored the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just
I
threw
know.
all my explosives at him. Like,
Dude, I kept trying to like creep out of the door where the Duke was next to the elevator and creep back in. One time he called
my
on
God.
me and he goes, nope, and just fucking shot me right through the door.
holy shit.
Very,
Oh, yeah.
very well done, dude. I mean, it was just. It was, I mean, like I said, I can't wait to go back and play it. You're already on your second playthrough. Gatsby's pretty much done with the speedrun shit. He's
Yeah,
just cleaning
I
up at
beat
this
my.
point.
Dude,
Yeah.
I gotta say, playing Mercenaries was really fucking tough. To get SS on all of them, but that lightsaber is fucking fun to use. It's really fun to use.
Is it any good?
Fly swatter, bro.
The biggest problem with it is you have to ignite it every time, and it can go unignited if you get grabbed. So it definitely has its downsides, but it's still really fun to use. Really fun to use.
Have you tinkered around with the, was it the rocket pistol?
I have not yet. I am about to get the. I stopped playing earlier, but I'm about to get the hand cannon. Or the gun you get for beating it on hardcore, because I'm playing on hardcore right now. So I'll beat that later.
There's
Wait,
an
what do you
interesting little detail about that gun.
What about
What
the
is
hand
it?
cannon or the rocket
What is
pistol?
Yeah, it actually takes sniper rounds.
The hand cannon?
I was like, I had to close my eyes and open them again to make sure I was reading it right. I'm like, yeah, it says it takes sniper rounds.
someone seeing gold in an old cartoon.
What?
I was like, well, that's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What's your 4 selects when you do play Village of Shadows? Like legit, like get legit about it.
My four what? The four weapons I'm using?
The 4 weapons in selection, like instant D-pad. Like, oh, need to switch to that.
All right. So I think the honestly, I don't think the lightsaber is fun, but it is close combat, and you don't really want them that close to you. So I'd have to say a sniper, the rocket launcher, a shotgun, and one of the magnums. That would be the loadout I would go.
What you PartyMarty?
oh, I'm actually on it right now. I have the V61. Which shotgun is this? Got the tactical shotgun, the sniper, and the magnum. Those are my D-pad weapons right now. I have the grenade launcher too, but that's all I have for now. And I'll probably just rock with that for most of the way.
What about you, James?
I haven't even started the Village of Shadows, but I don't know. Probably the tactical shotgun, for sure. Sniper. Then, what is it, the striker? Is that the magnum that you get after? Yeah, that one for sure.
Or
And
no, the
then-
steak. It's called steak.
Huh? Oh,
called
the steak. Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
stupid.
Because
because
get it,
of
because
the
vampires.
Vampires. Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. It took me a while to get that. No cap. That took me a long time to be like, oh,
Dude.
that's what they're saying.
All right,
Okay.
now I fucking hate the game, dude.
Right? The fucking cheese. The cheese. How
No.
dare
I
you?
swear to God, if I have one more cheesy
Yeah.
fucking steak, you said fuck the game, I'm done.
Yeah. Shit. That and then probably mines. Yeah. For like
Mines,
my
yeah,
left
mines are really good.
D-pad. Yeah, because mines are the most like powerful explosive. Yeah.
Yeah, just true.
He's through.
But
Yeah.
beyond all that,
Yeah, one of the-
what? Oh, what were we saying, Party Marty?
No, I'm just checking that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It says the description on the hand cannon is that so that's a large, non-standard revolver, a monster weapon that uses sniper rifle rounds, making it more powerful than a magnum. At 1400 power.
So should I even bother with fucking leveling up the stake, or should I just, when I beat it on hardcore, use the hand cannon? What's gonna have more strength?
I mean, well, the
Well, it
stake's
sounds like-
still more powerful.
Is it?
Way more powerful to start off. So yeah, definitely go with that.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait, the
And
stake is
then
more
the
powerful.
other stuff like I think the only thing the hand cannon has is rate of fire, and it's not by that much.
So you're
So, yeah,
telling me
definitely, yeah, I'd say-
the sniper ammo is more powerful than Magnum ammo?
That's fair. The
That's
sniper,
what the description says.
the only sniper in the game.
It's gotta be the.
That's a good point, but sniper rifle ammo is pretty available in comparison to Magnum.
That is also true.
It's true.
That is also
But-
true.
Yeah, it would be a little easier to keep ammo for.
Right. I mean,
Because it was five
It's
shots.
easier
There's
to
no
craft.
upgrade for ammo.
it's easier to find. So it doesn't make sense for it to be stronger than the Magnum. That wouldn't make any sense. Because, I mean, hell, like, it took 2 shots on them wolves with the wolf bane. And then, like, with the sniper, hell, I could shoot them all day, it seemed like, with the fucking sniper, and he wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Wolfsbane's at with the weapon upgrade is at 2900 max power at max fully upgraded. I don't know what it'll be fully upgraded, but more powerful than that I could see. But I would say the stake fully upgraded would probably still be more powerful than it.
What about the
Just more
rocket
advantage
pistol? Is
to-
that just OP as fuck? The rocket pistol? Has anyone heard about that? I haven't heard anything about it.
I've seen it in
Right.
action. That's
Me
about
neither.
it. I don't know the stats or anything.
It looks like a small grenade going off.
Yeah.
Also, it really looks like a
Doesn't really-
rocket. I just thought it was being facetious.
No.
Me too. I'm just this thing is not fire rockets, bro. No way.
I think it just has like explosive ammo.
Which, I mean, that's cool, but as far as them being OP, I mean, if it's unlimited, sure, but so is unlimited Wolfbane
Mm-hmm.
or unlimited, what was the assault rifle Chris was using? Oh,
Yeah, Dragoon.
yeah,
Yeah, the
it's like
Dragoon,
the
which
AK, just
Yeah, that thing
fucking
was
all the bells and
ridiculous.
whistles.
Yeah.
And
it's
isn't
pretty
there
cool,
another
but the
assault
reload
rifle?
time. Yeah, the WCX.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
It's actually
I think there
pretty
are
fucking
3.
chunky.
I don't know. I actually got pretty excited when I saw the Scorpion back. I was like, that gave me old school
Ooh.
Resident Evil 5 vibes.
Well, I mean, you always use the Scorpion 2 and COD 4. I remember that.
Oh, for sure, with the ACOG, because I was that guy.
He was that guy.
That
It was really
dickhead.
fucking annoying. It was
I
really
was
annoying.
like, I got you. Yeah, because you had literally, it wouldn't open your like little crosshairs would not open up too much when you ran. It had like perfect hip fire, and then if you wanted long range, you were good on that too. So I just rocked that the whole time in COD 4, old COD 4, not Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the Xbox days, in 360 days.
Damn, dude. I miss
yeah.
that shit.
I'll tell you what.
I used to play the fuck out of some
days,
Halo,
man.
Off topic, but I'm talking like randomly on my YouTube. I've been seeing like Halo 3 gameplay.
Dude, a lot of people.
You must come back.
I was like, man, like
In the
it's
comeback.
it's like a consistency of videos that say this is what 16 years of playing Resident Evil looks like. This is what 16 years of playing Call of Duty looks like. And then it was like, this is what 16 years of playing Halo 3 looks like. This guy did not die.
Yeah, I bet not. 16 years? That's insane.
He got like a kill in there or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's random as shit on my phone. And then right below it, it's like, hey, want to go back into talking about Resident Evil 8? Sure, I guess. I don't know. I was kind of excited for Halo for a second, but whatever.
Yo,
Whatever.
so that's got to be because E3 is coming up. Let's just take a little side note. E3, there's a lot of possibilities. First off, just talking about Halo, we know we're going to get Halo Infinite something at E3, right? We don't know what, but it's got to have something at E3. Are we going to get a release date for that? Who knows? But also, it has also been mentioned that Resident Evil 7 had DLC that came out for a good while after Resident Evil 7 launched. The Not a Hero DLC, the End of Zoe DLC, that came out, what was it, a year or so after the game came out. Do you guys think there is any potential DLC in the future for this game?
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, for 8? Yeah, definitely. I thought you were saying they're going to release another DLC for Resident Evil 7. I was like, wait, what?
Well, like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Of course. Let him breathe.
Yeah, holy shit.
Why
Oh
would
my God. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's why my face was...
Stage and shit.
Yeah.
Like, we are proud to announce Resident Evil 7 DLC. And everyone's like,
God damn it.
What the fuck?
man.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it.
Definitely, dude.
Like,
Definitely.
you go through as,
I
like,
think it'd be
Evelyn
cool.
in a
Yeah,
wheelchair.
well...
Certainly, it's certainly outside the box thinking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Shit.
Who's gonna give Reverse a try? Huh?
I'm actually really thinking about playing it.
But
I want to.
Dude, I should have played that today. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll just.
Was
play
it
more
open
8.
today?
Is it not open yet?
I don't think it's
So
open anymore.
not up.
Yeah, it closed like May 20th or some shit like that.
Man.
Because I tried to
As far as I
play
know,
it,
it
because I
hasn't
beat
worked.
RE8, and I'm like, okay, like, let's give this a try on board. And then,
as far as I know, it hasn't worked since Village came out.
yeah.
So
I
they
checked here
just
and there.
they haven't got it up yet, or they got it up and they're just like, you know what?
It was just a limited thing.
Seems to be for right now.
I'm pretty
What?
sure.
We missed the gun. That could have been so fun. Oh, that could have been so fun.
It looked
Watch.
Reverse
I mean,
looked
it'll
more fun to
eventually
me
come
than-
out, but
Yeah, it'll come out as
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 Reverse, as a matter of fact, because that's what's gonna happen at E3
reverse.
for the Resident Evil 7 remix, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
dude,
So
no.
after we get the 4
Lil Wayne's
Okay, so-
commentator in it. He's like, please, baby, and then like
Oh
everyone's
my
like,
God.
hey, it's Jack, and they're just shooting each other.
Alright, no, for real though. If let's get back to these remakes,
Alan
because
jumps
if they
on
do
it.
remake
Another one.
4, yeah,
Another one.
if they remake 4,
Another
then 5 and
Mhm.
6 got to be not long after, right?
No, not in theory. In
I don't think they're
theory,
gonna
no.
remake 4, dude. And I don't think they would remake 5 and 6. Why would
Because legitimately, listen, I know you guys think I'm crazy, but if they remade 6
they? Mm-hmm.
and just fucked with it a little bit more,
Made it good.
Like a remaster, you know?
a
Not
remaster,
remake.
it is in desperate
Yeah.
need of a remaster. I
No,
legitimately
they ought to
think
call
if
it
they
a
did,
fucking build.
Yeah.
it's a everything. Yeah,
Well,
they shouldn't
StuckNFutzy on
remaster
that
it.
one.
But like, seriously, think about it. What that game did, if they did it differently, I think of like all the shit that was cut out of Resident Evil 3. It's comparable to Justice League and then the Snyder cut. You know what I mean? Of the shit that was cut out. And sometimes editing is not a bad thing. There are lots of movies where I've seen all the deleted scenes and I'm like, yeah, there was no point for that. Like, I get
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like 6, there is definitely room. Like, if someone remade it and shaved some shit off, you could have a much more streamlined and just an overall much better video game experience. I think if they ever remade 6, like, because that's the problem with 4. It's like, how much better can you do? You know what I mean? Than 4. 4 still plays great. It's still fucking amazing to play. I played it on PS4 the other fucking day. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
why I'm saying, like, why remake it? It's already good.
Yeah.
1
Like,
through
Code Veronica
3
could-
needed to be remade. Which
Yeah.
1 was remade like forever ago, and still in like the tank format, but
Right.
tank
So,
controls
like,
format. But
and think Code Veronica, while it was still in the same era, is the Resident Evil 1 remake and 0. It's just another one of those games. I think they could redo Code Veronica and 0. I think they could remake all of the games without tank controls, because
I would like 0 because that's like the first Umbrella incident. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Dude,
that's
I
before
really like
Raccoon
0.
City. Like that'd be good to revisit that. Now that we know how Umbrella like came to be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that really upset me about Resident Evil 0 is at one point when you're next to like the train cars or whatever, what is it, a hunter or something comes out and knocks someone off the side of the rail, and they're just gone for like a good section of the game. And like Billy had all my guns and Rebecca had all my healing items.
Oh my gosh!
So one of them had everything of this, and the other had everything.
Dude.
Yeah, I fucked up. I didn't have no guns because I think it was Billy that got knocked down, and then I was just like, I literally didn't have a gun. I had all the health and I had all the keys. I had everything I needed, and it was like, what if Billy had the key to the fucking place I needed, or had this, or I don't know. I don't think there was anything you could. I don't know.
Did you play the original, like Resident Evil 2, like for PS1?
I beat it, but I was like using guides and shit. I didn't play it. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. But you know how like whenever you grab something, it won't be there for the next person, depending on who you start with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
I really wish they did that more in remake.
People.
Yeah.
I wish they did that too. I was expecting that, playing it, and then like whenever I got my second playthrough, and I was like, oh, like what? Like I'm good. Like, I can just grab everything.
I kind of felt that way in Resident Evil 3 when you play through as Carlos, and you could like I thought it was really cool. You could unlock the lockers. You shouldn't be able to, but if you could remember the codes, they're the same codes. Like that was really cool, and that just kind of shows like what you're playing doesn't necessarily mean canonically that's how it went down. Like the cut scenes I think are what are canon, but see, even then you fight you fight Birkin as Claire and Leon in the Resident Evil 2 remake. You fight them when they have the same fights with him.
Yeah, pretty
much.
like, yeah,
like, what?
I did not like that. Yeah.
That's probably one of the only real gripes I had with the game. But other than that, I get what you guys are saying. It would have been nice if they would have treat that a little more delicately like they did with the original.
Yeah,
definitely with the continuity of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No stuff.
But,
speaking of which,
speaking of which.
No, go ahead.
I was say I know StuckNFutzy's got to go here soon.
Yeah, I gotta get ready to go.
Oh shit!
On my phone.
Yeah, but overall, before you do, let's just get some closing remarks for the end this bad boy out. What was your favorite part about Resident Evil 8, StuckNFutzy?
Dude, to tell you the truth, it's kind of hard to pinpoint really what was the best part, because the game was consistently good. All right.
So what's your least favorite part? Your least favorite part?
The fucking porcelain dolls, but that's just because of some bitch phobia I got. That's neither here nor there.
That's bias as well, right there. Yeah, we know.
That's fair.
Without that bias, the game didn't have any. To me, it didn't have too many like down moments. Your down moments were the in betweens of like you interacting with the Duke and like fucking around with like pretty much your dismembered daughter in these vases and just stuffing them and trying to get this giant chalice. Like those are like, but the thing is like it was consistent. It was never ending to where it's like you didn't know what was gonna happen.
No.
You did not know what was gonna happen. Even if you felt like you were around the Duke to where it was safe, the second you opened any gate, any door, anything, it's like you're right back into it. You don't know where Lady D is. You got this big ass wolf following you around, just creeping on outside. Little pig, let me in. And then you got on top of all that these fucking crows, which are just like, it's like a calling for non-stop enemies. The game continuously delivered in the horror aspect in traditional Resident Evil fashion, but they amped it up a little bit with kind of like how they set up the enemies. I was really impressed with the whole design of like the enemies as well as just the game itself. I mean, hell, if you go back on it, like fuck, I'm sitting there like for 5 minutes looking at the cascading white mountains and all that beauty, and just thinking about, man, I need to bury my nose in that. Or I mean, I need to not. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, overall, like from detail to graphic design to detail and interaction between characters, as well as like even like when Ethan in the beginning, when his fucking hand got bit, it wasn't like a choppy. It was like literally placed. The mouth was here. Like everything felt fluid. It was smooth, and like it constantly had you on your toes, and it gave you just enough of that. Okay, I had that fight back capability, but I can't get carried away with it because I might not be able to craft said ammo because I'll have to craft said med, or better yet, I'm really digging this gun I got, but I just found this new gun. I want to see what it's about. Like the game constantly. It was psychological. It constantly left you with decisions. And each decision, in my opinion, greatly affected how the game played out. Like, I guarantee how you beat Miranda, just like to James, just like to Party Marty, and whoever else the fuck beat it, was a lot different from how I did it and all the way around.
Thanks, M-Town.
Yeah, M-Town. Much love. All right, so, Party Marty, what was your favorite, least favorite? What disappointed you? What do you wish there was more of? What do you think, Party Marty?
Man. A lot. StuckNFutzy put it, I think he put his pretty well. I would say my favorite part, I guess one of my favorite parts was being able to play as Chris, just mowing down the Lycans and just him he's just on a mission, you know, just determined. But Chris is older at this point, so him losing people, it's kind of like someone said on YouTube. It's like he doesn't really show like the emotion, like when we thought Ethan was dead at first. He didn't really show the emotion, but like you can kind of tell it's there. It's just all the time he's spent fighting bioterrorism. He's been doing it since the beginning of the series, and it's just like.
I mean, after 6, how many people has he lost, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's probably still a bit confused because he lost his memory, too. Like,
oh, shit, he did have amnesia.
How did I get into this life, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like,
he had that little amnesia period for 6 months or whatever. He's just slowly coming back to himself. But
yeah.
Like, where the fuck am I?
Where the fuck? He's like, I don't know, but let's shoot some guns, baby.
He's like, I don't know, BOWs.
It's like, damn, I was doing this for all this time?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, you were, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
I really didn't have a real least in any part of the game for the most part that I didn't like. I'd say the only thing maybe I was like meh about a little bit was Moreau, but I think it was just more because that part where you had to like pull the levers and try to figure your way out. It took me a little bit to figure that out. I'm like, fuck. Like I would almost get there but fall in the water every time.
Get
knickered!
William.
Everything else, it wasn't easy per se, but you know we were able to get through it. Yeah. But even then, it's not a part I hated on.
That area
was just
like really awkward.
It slowed me down.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, because a little bit. I think him being the fish monster gave me the Resident Evil 4 vibes a little bit too. I mean, like a giant lake monster, really part of the game. But, I mean, I agree with StuckNFutzy. Overall, the game was good. Nothing I really disliked or anything like that. If we get any DLC, I just hope it'll be as good as the main game itself was. But as far as we'll wait and see for that.
I feel that. All right, well, James Nukem, how about yourself? Least favorite, most favorite, something that disappointed you?
Okay, my least favorite thing is the fact that they thought about putting Ada Wong in this shit, and they didn't. Dude, did you like in the concept art, dude? Like they're like, hey, we thought about it, just so you know, and then like they just didn't. I'm like, oh motherfuckers, like, oh come on, like that would have been so good, dude. Like coming in saving Ethan's ass there whenever like he meets like the 4 houses and shit, like.
It could totally
missed opportunity.
Well, Leon isn't in the game, so Ada isn't allowed to save anybody. Those are just the Resident Evil rules, evidently. But it could have it still could have been like Sheva, or it could have been somebody like. Yeah. True.
But probably my favorite thing, just how open world it was. I mean, this is like the first kind of like open world Resident Evil game, like ever. I don't know. I thought that was cool. They gave it a try.
Yeah, where there's a central hub, basically. Yeah, and you kind of fan out from there.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
How you can once you get the drawbridge thing, and then you can like take the boat like up and down that like main river in the middle of the village. Like it was good, and you didn't have to like if you didn't think about doing that, like you wouldn't have whatsoever. But it's just like I got this now. Like every time I got like a new key or some shit like that, I'm revisiting everything. Like yeah, they did a good job on that. I really liked it about that exploration.
Yeah, I did like the fact that exploration, backtracking, because that's one of the things that Resident Evil about. I think really is just being able to backtrack, and I'm definitely glad that was brought back for this game.
Yeah, that, and then also how they finally tied in the story with like the main series, with Spencer, being like the guy that learned everything from Miranda and blah blah blah. Yeah, I was like, finally, it's not just like, oh, Chris is here to save the day. You know what I mean? Like, or Chris is here to kill my wife and steal my baby. Like. It's like, okay, no, this is like solidified in the lore now. Like, it's not just Chris being there. Yeah,
not what they did with Resident Evil 7 at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
All right.
What about you, man?
So
let's hear.
I got one last question for you guys.
Oh shit, go ahead.
All right, what is it?
Oh shit.
Yeah, hold on, go ahead, Gatsby. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say if assuming it's Resi 9. Mainline character you think would most likely show up? I just want to hear what you guys think.
My wish list is Rose and Jake, 2 people that have utilized the viruses in their body.
You're talking about Rebecca? Wait, is it Rebecca?
No, Rose and Jake.
Not Rose?
Jake was in 6 with Sharon.
Yeah.
Whiskers
oh,
kid.
Sharon. Sharon Birkin. That's who I was trying to think of. Yeah.
That would be my pick. If you're asking me for protagonists, of course Leon.
And then it'd be like the 3 of them, like the super like children,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wonder Twin powers activate, man. Yeah, it could totally work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Fire.
Buckets.
Remember?
Yeah. Would you guys disagree? Who do you think the protagonists of 9 are going to be? Because they definitely set it up for Rose to be a big player. Would you disagree?
Mia.
That it would be Rose.
Mia, dude.
That is
for
true.
Sure.
Something happens to Rose.
Because it says the father's story has ended, so now the mother's story needs to end.
So what if you play as Mia trying to fight Rose? How fucking crazy would that be? How fucking
and you find
crazy
out
would
Rose
that
is
be?
a bad guy, or if you find out that Mia's a bad guy. Well, Mia is kind of like a sketchy character already because you know she
Mia's
was
been sketchy since the beginning of 7. I've never
yeah,
trusted her
exactly.
since.
mean,
there's so much shit we still don't know about her. You know what I mean? Like
the minor detail of the chainsaw to the fucking end.
yeah.
Not to mention the screwdriver and then her taking axe to the fucking collarbone.
Well, I think
she's a keeper, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's because she was like molded, and then she got fucking.
But Ethan didn't know what the fuck was going on. He goes, "Well, I guess that's normal.
Yeah,
I better start getting some, I guess, lime
and just put some first aid on there."
He's like, "Here, I hear this stuff works around these.
Yeah,
just little juice, just
yeah, stupid." All right, least favorite Gatsby. Let's hear it.
All right, no cap, least favorite. I wasn't a huge fan of the factory level, just because. And if it wasn't for me playing it so many times in Mercenaries, like at least that way, I was a little bit more familiar with it, so it wasn't as bad. But I still am not a fan of the factory, like in general. The enemies are kind of cool, but that's like just how we talked about earlier. I kind of have a problem with Heisenberg. And that's the Mega Mycete being a magical thing. We don't know how it was created, but that seems more whimsical, where Resident Evil was always specifically scientific, which I guess technically a plant that does this is technically magical until someone in a lab coat says it's something else. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be... Adrena, thank you so much for the host. I saw. We're wrapping her up here. We're getting ready to raid out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just the whole magical aspect of it. Because motherfucker was Magneto, and I just kind of didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, they tried to explain it. Like, they tried to ground it in science by saying, like, his organs were electrified or some shit like that. It's just like, nah, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
One of the notes.
tried to describe him.
They tried to.
By a man in a wheelchair? Or was he friends with the man in a wheelchair, rather?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So just that whole Lord and section was my least favorite part. My biggest letdown was, of course, we wanted more Lady D. Obviously, the trailers just set her up to be the big bad, and to find out she's in less than half of the game. It was disappointing because I wanted to have multiple boss fights with this chick, and she was just she did less than Mr. X, and she did even less than Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 remake, and Nemesis didn't do a whole lot in Resident Evil 3.
I spent a good 8 hours in the castle.
It's honestly got me wanting to like go back and look at trailers for Resident Evil 4, like back in the day.
See if anything else. They definitely kept it a secret because I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the doll maker or Moreau ever popping up. I remember Heisenberg, but I thought he was an ally. Yeah. The way he looks at you and stuff, and some of the shots that they use.
Well, he kind of is an ally. He's like a not really an anti-hero. He's just
third
like
party.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be part of Miranda, and he's like, "Hey, Ethan, help me out." But
Ethan's
like he's still. I'm gonna fucking kill you and get my kid back.
Well, yeah, because that was the whole problem. If he didn't want to use Rose and just do it by himself, Ethan probably would have went along with it. But he's like, I need your daughter. Like, I know Miranda's trying to use her. Let me use her real quick to kill Miranda, and then, I mean, I'm sure he'd gave her back. He wouldn't give a fuck. He would be the top of the food chain. He'd do whatever the fuck he wanted at that point. You know what I mean? But like, I legitimately think
because he was the top pick for Miranda for Eva. You know?
Yeah, he's number one draft pick, baby. Number one draft pick.
He really is.
Yeah. So beyond the mechanical, like, because at least when there was like the telekinesis or like the whatever stuff in 7, like the whole psychological thing, it was still a virus and it was one thing. You know what I mean? It was just something in your head. To where it was externalized with Heisenberg, and I just wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't a huge fan of that. But like I said, that's just because Silent Hill was the scary game to play where shit was mystical. Resident Evil was the game to play when shit was scientific. I mean, I know it's still technically monsters, like whatever. I might be splitting hairs here, but at least that was its own unique way.
But let's be real here. They've been trying to get into the mystical game since Resident Evil 4. You know what I mean? Like, well, before Resident Evil 4 came out, you like their
I
E3
will say, yeah,
showcase
Resident
was
Evil
very
4.
like there were like spirits and shit like running around and whatnot. And they were like, okay, well,
That's
I guess
fair.
that's not really our thing. And now they're trying to do it and still keep it grounded in, you know.
Yeah, I'll give you that, because the Las
lore.
Plagas wasn't something that was created, at least not that we know of. Now, it wasn't created in a lab, it was just there.
I'm not talking about Los Plagas. I'm talking about like before Resident Evil 4 even came out, they showed
the Hookman? The Hookman? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking about?
like shit like that, where they were
you have a
actually,
point.
like, yeah, there were like ghosts and shit, and it was just like, wait a second, this isn't Resident Evil, and it didn't like test well, and so they were like, okay, well, we're gonna scrap that, kind of keep the same game, but like, you know, put Los Plagas in there.
That's... Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries. No worries. We know you're busy. We know you're busy. You got your own stuff going on. No worries. There isn't an attendance line. There's no ticket to punch. Nothing like that. We're just talking about some Resident Evil.
Hey,
Having
did
a
you
damn
guys
good
clock
time.
in?
I'm having a great time. Yeah, did you guys clock in? Fuck. But yeah, and honestly, I'm actually really surprised how much fun I had with Mercenaries. I guess I had to have fun with it because I was determined to get the lightsaber. But I legitimately had a really good time with the first 4 levels. I thought they were a lot of fun.
I still
but
haven't
then again,
played
the
it,
factory
dude.
level, yeah, they're
Yeah.
fun. The factory levels, I'm just not a huge fan of. I can just with the whole like upgrades and everything, those are really fun. My biggest thing though is I just thought the whole castle section was really well done, and I like the fact that not only did they bring it back to Oswald E. Spencer, just like the legacy, like they're tying in the roots from way back in the day. You know what I mean? They tie it in there, and then they still you still have Chris as the foundation, even though I thought his part could have been a little bit better, but I get why he had to do what he had to do so the plot could work. Because if he's like, that's Miranda, that you're totally ruining, you know what I mean, a twist for later on, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, but doesn't mean I have to like it. Is like,
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, like it's whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I see it for what it is, something that needed to happen that way for the plot to work, and like it just kind of is what it is, you know. So that's
I feel like there
I
could have
still
been
really
longer,
like the
too.
game. It
Yeah.
definitely could have been
They
longer.
could have crammed more in there.
I think the castle should have been the main
yeah,
hub.
let's go a little more, but I mean, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think the village should have
all
been
else.
just one thing. But, I mean, it's called Village, not
Say what?
Resident Evil Castle. So
Oh yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
sure.
can't even go back to the castle like after a certain
that's
point.
upsetting.
Which, yeah. Like I was trying to go back there because there's that one room like you're crawling through the like little hole, and then Lady Dimitrescu like walks through that door, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna revisit
yeah.
that way later, and see if I could walk through that door because it's locked after she walks through it, and then I couldn't
No,
even go
you-
back.
you-
I was like, fuck.
You can't get in that door, and also in the house
No, you
Beneviento,
can't.
there is a door that's cracked where you see one of those treasure boxes. You can't get in that room. You can never get that treasure. They're fucking with you. They are. The game
They're
is
just
literally
like, ha, ha,
fucking with
ha.
you. Yeah. They're
God.
literally
There's-
fucking with you.
Motherfuckers.